Hey everyone, Deborah here. I wanted to jump on today and talk a little bit about specifically fat loss. So perhaps you have a little bit of extra weight you'd like to lose. Maybe it's a lot. It doesn't, wherever you are in your journey. Maybe you haven't done anything for the past little while, meaning months to years, and now you're jumping back on that bandwagon because it's time to get healthy, right? You're like, okay, it's time. I'm gonna make it work, gonna make it happen this time. Awesome. Good for you. Starting your journey. You gotta start somewhere, right? Okay, so you've started the journey, maybe you're a few weeks in, maybe you're even a few months in, and you're at that point where the weight loss has now tapered off. Plateau, that word, I've plateaued. The weight's just not coming off as easy as it was in the beginning. And we'll talk about that. And kind of what to do to, or what your next steps are. So the reasons why you're plateauing. Let's talk about that. Again, you're somebody maybe who hasn't worked out in a while or changed their eating patterns in a very long time. So you're new to the program that you've set yourself up on. You want to lose some weight. That is your goal. Want to lose some weight, got to get rid of some of this fat. Usually in the beginning, what do we do? We do our research, hopefully. Hopefully you've done some really good research and you know that you need to drink lots of water. Number one, got to hydrate. You need lots of water in your day. And if you're not somebody that already drinks water or a good amount of water during your day, you're going to notice in the very beginning that you're going to lose a lot of weight rapidly. Maybe within the first week, you're losing 5 to 6 pounds. It depends how much you have to start with, right? So that's a big determinant of how much you're going to lose in the very beginning stages. So water loss is a huge thing in the very beginning. First few weeks, drinking lots of water, you're going to lose a lot of water because now you're flushing out that system, right? So keep in mind, it's good weight to lose and it makes you feel really good about things, but it is a lot of water loss in the very beginning. So, okay, you're drinking lots of water. Maybe and hopefully you've looked at your nutritional needs at this point and you're like, okay, I've got to revamp some things in my life. I'm going to do the lean protein. I'm going to eat more fruits and veggies in my day. Blah, blah, blah. I can go through it all. Okay, so that's great. You've started that program, whereas before all this, maybe your eating wasn't the greatest. So that's another reason you're losing weight because, I've changed what I'm putting in my body. My body's responding really well to this. Perfect, losing some weight there. Awesome. And then you decide, okay, I'm going to add some exercise into this mix. I'm kind of an active person at work, but not much outside of work. So, okay, you've added in some exercise, more than you normally do. Maybe you've got the handy dandy fitness tracker and you're tracking your steps every day. So you're aiming for, if you don't already get this, you're aiming for 10,000 steps a day. Okay, that's a good start, 9 to 10,000 a day. If you're somebody who's not currently very active, I'll say. Okay, so that's another reason that, hey, you've changed this. You're walking almost daily, maybe 5 times a week. Okay, you're going to lose weight that way as well. So awesome, you're doing everything right. Seems like it's right. And then you get to that point, and like I said, it depends on your goals, how much weight you have to lose or want to lose, and so on and so on. So a couple weeks, probably more like a few months pass, and you're like, okay, this is where I am. I haven't moved. That scale hasn't moved. Inches haven't moved. What am I doing wrong? First of all, you're not doing anything wrong. So keep that in mind. Our body kind of gets used to what we're doing. Now what you need to do is start looking and fine-tuning what you're currently doing. So maybe your exercise program has not changed in those 3 months or 4 months or however long you've been on it. You've been doing consistently the same thing all the time. So your walks, albeit wonderful, get out there and walk. In no way am I saying don't walk, because you should. Maybe your walks have gotten a little less intense at this point because now your body is more attuned to it. So you've conditioned your body to the point where the walks that previously were difficult are not so difficult now. So what do you need to do about that? You need to up the ante. So maybe on your walks, you're going to go at a faster pace. You're going to speed walk it. Maybe you're going to add some sprints on during your walk. So for every 1 minute, for every 5 minutes that you're walking at a nice steady state, you're going to do a 30-second sprint in there or a 20-second sprint. You're going to add little bursts of energy. That'll change your walk up, and it'll change the way your body responds, right? It's just changing something. Again, with the exercise routine, if you're doing strength training, which you should be, let me just point that out. So if you're a beginner, 2 to 3 times a week strength training. Doesn't mean you have to have a whole gym set up in your house. You don't need that. You can just do body weight training, and that is more than enough to tone and lean out your body. Eventually you want to add some weightlifting in there, but totally not necessary. It's not necessary at all because our body is good weight as it is. So you throw this body around a few times, do a couple sets and reps of everything, and there you go, you're good to go. But you should be strength training because the fact is lean muscle burns more calories than fat does. So the more lean muscle that you build on your body, the more calories you're going to burn, which will lean you out and lose that fat, right? Cardio. Everybody thinks cardio is the everything when it comes to losing fat. Not so. Do your research. There's always new research coming out, so they're constantly updating things. However, like I just said, lean muscle burns more calories than fat does. So building that lean muscle is really important. Although we do need cardio. Cardio is super important. I mean, it's just a fact. It's part of the puzzle. I like to call our health and wellness, our whole self, a puzzle. And it's one piece of that puzzle. Do you need to do cardio every day? Certainly not. You don't need to be at a high intensity cardio level every single day. But you do need moderate to vigorous cardiovascular activity in your week. Okay, so make sure you add in a few sessions. 2 sessions a week, 3 would be really nice, but 2, aim for 2. If you're like, cardio is not my thing, aim for 1 session of cardiovascular activity a week, something that gets your heart rate up to the point where you're like, whew, I can't carry on a conversation with the person next to me. You want to be that breathy. Okay, so do the whole breath test. If I'm walking, say I'm walking the dog, can I still talk to my dog? Maybe it's not talking back to you, but can you have a conversation with your dog? If the answer is yes, I can freely talk, no problem. I don't feel like I've lost my breath at all. You need to kind of up that ante just a little bit, because at this point, you're just maintaining where you are. So once you've plateaued and you continue to do what you're still doing without changing any factors, you're maintaining, which is not a problem. You can maintain for years, and that's wonderful. However, if you're looking specifically for a change, then you need to change something that you're currently doing. I hope that makes sense. It goes for eating, it goes for exercise. Also, I always talk about kind of all these factors, the water and the sleep. Sleep is super important. Actually, I just read an interesting article today regarding sleep and how it really helps to regulate all our body processes. I mean, we know sleep's good for us, and people between, 13 to 64, I want to say. I might be wrong on the bottom range, but up to 64 years, so an adult, I think it's 19 to 64, actually. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Quality, not just sleep that's restless and really crappy. It's got to be good quality sleep. And how do you get that good quality sleep? If you're active during the day, maybe you get outside, you get moving, but even just indoor activity and you keep yourself busy all day will actually help you to sleep better at night. A natural way to help with your sleep, if you still have very irregular sleep patterns, melatonin is really good for that. Okay, your body already produces that, so taking some melatonin chews is a good alternative as well, just to help you along if you need that. There's lots of little tips and tricks. Make sure you're not having any caffeine in the evening. And people always say you shouldn't eat after a certain time. You know, bottom line, if you're hungry, you're hungry. Just make a really good choice. Don't sit there and eat the chips and the crackers and the very sugary things late at night, because sugar is what's going to trigger you to stay awake. And it's just not, you don't need that late at night, right? So lean protein before bed, some nut butters is a really good choice, nuts as well. Another interesting fact to help you long-term sleeping, better quality sleep, is Brazil nuts having 2 of those a day actually helps to regulate your sleep patterns. So little nugget of truth there for you. So yes, plateauing. we get back to the plateau. Literally, if you don't change every few months, change up something in your routine that you're doing, nothing within you, it will change. Okay, we have to constantly evolve and change the circumstances under which we put our body. So whether it be if you're strength training 2 days a week, after 3 or 4 months, you need to up that a little bit to 3 to 4 times a week, right? So change it. Add more weights. You should be consistently adding, if you're, again, using weights, you should be consistently adding more weights to build your strength, build the lean muscle, burn more fat. It's all kind of connected. Same with cardio. Find something you love, okay? If you're not a cardio lover like me, actually, I've never been a cardio lover, still really don't like it, but I know it's super important for me to keep going. You just got to find something you love, right? Something you enjoy, and just go with that. So I hope this has helped you along your journey. If you need more information, please feel free to contact me. You can email, you can text, send a message, go to our website, www.fitandfight.ca. Links are through YouTube, and they're all over the place. You can send a message through there if you need some help along your journey, because I got you. I'm here for you. Cheers.